In this video, I'm going to talk about creating Classic Bot within the new Microsoft Copilot Studio authoring interface. Now, what is a Classic Bot and what is a Copilot? Now, Classic Bot is an old way of building a bot. Now, earlier, when you if you remember, like when we had Power Virtual Agent, so Power Virtual Agent was part of the entire Power Platform application suite. Now, using Power Virtual Agent, we used to build bots. Now, with the new name change and with the new paradigm shift, we have something called as Copilot Studio. Now, Copilot Studio is built out of Power Virtual Agents and it is much more than Power Virtual Agents. So, with the new interface, you will not get a direct way to create a bot. Here whatever you create is called as Copilot. Now Copilot is like a modern conversational agent interface, whereas bot is like, I would call it as a traditional way of implementing the bot. Now, creating a classic bot. In the screen, if you see over here, there is no direct way to create a classic bot, or it is somewhat hidden, I would say. So, first thing what you need to do is like you need to open the Copilot Studio authoring interface, and from there, if you go into the advanced settings, then there is a hyperlink which will allow you to create a classic bot. Now, I'm going to demonstrate this live, but just to show you from a theoretical perspective, once you author the classic bot, this is how the classic bot will look like once it is authored. Now, there are various settings which are currently available for classic bot. Now, this classic bot settings is not in par with the Copilot settings, because Copilot is much more advanced. Copilot, our artificial intelligence is currently embedded within the product, rather than you integrating the artificial intelligence capability within the classic Copilot. Now, here, if you see the detail section here, you can see the solution on which classic bot is based on. You can change the icon. You can change the security setting by sharing, authenticating on from a or Active Directory perspective or Teams perspective, or you can just mark the bot to be not authenticating and it is globally or generally available for all the channel. Then you can review the web channel security and put an allow list. And then there are AI integration tools, but it's not a direct integration, but then it is giving you some more theoretical information about how you can integrate. Now, from a classic bot setting perspective, you can create an entity, you can create a custom entity, you can create skills. And then from an AI capability perspective, here you can have topic overlap detection and topic suggestion from chat transcript. So again, this is like a old way of implementing your classic bot. However, there might be a situation whereby you may need to build a classic bot, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can build a classic bot using Copilot Studio authoring interface. Now, from a solution perspective, if you create a bot using the classic interface, then all the backend component will follow the suite. So that means all the backend component which gets created will be belonging to the older component, like the bot which you create and the component which gets created will be all based on top of type topic. Okay, rather than if you build a copilot, then the all the topic components are inherited from topic v2. Similarly, we have bot entity data type, and then in the new copilot interface you will have bot entity v2. Then there is a type of chatbot which is same. And then in the screenshot here you will see topic, bot entity, and chatbot data type. But again, all those things belonging to the very old way of implementing. Now, what are the classic bot actions which you can take once you author the bot from a classic creation perspective, classic bot creation perspective? Then you can do a copy process. You can copy the chatbot, you can download the chatbot manifest, you can convert the classic bot to a modern copilot if you want. You can test the chatbot, you can suggest topics, old topic creation interface, share the chatbot. So these are the things which you can do using classic bot. Now let's jump into the demo. So The URL which we used to build the Power Virtual Agent or a bot was web.powerva.microsoft.com. However, for the newer interface, we have something called as copilotstudio.microsoft.com or copilotstudio.preview.microsoft.com. Okay. Now these are the two different URLs which you can use to build the Copilot. Now let's see by hitting both the URLs. So I'm gonna open this URL web.powerva.microsoft.com, and in the another screen I'm just gonna copy this and I'm gonna type copilotstudio.preview.microsoft.com. Let's open with both this interface. Now here you will get a nice introduction. Welcome to Copilot Studio. And then if you just click on next, and that's it, you can select the right environment. So if I select the environment which I'm using to build Copilot is Girish Preview US. Now if you see, the URL is now changed from web.powerva to copilotstudio.preview.microsoft.com, which is again the same interface. So what it has done, it has redirected the URL from the old URL to the new URL. However, if you get into the newer interface and if you want to create a Copilot, the first step what you're going to do, you're going to go to home and then try to find out from here how you can create a Copilot. Now in order to create a Copilot, you can type in a prompt and then create a Copilot, or if you are not much used to prompt engineering, then you can click on create and click on new Copilot. Now if I click on create and create new Copilot, it will give me a prompt message, and then it will say, okay, what you want to build. Now this is a modern way of building a bot. Okay, now what I can do, I can just say skip to configure. Now if I say skip to configure, here I'll be able to type in the name of the Copilot, description, and the instruction for the Copilot. Now if I save this information and create from here, this is a modern way of building the bot. Okay, so this is not what I want. So let's again go back to the home. So let me again go back to the URL copilotstudio.preview.microsoft.com. So let me go into the correct environment. So let me copy this and then show you it in a different tab. Okay, now the creation process which we have just gone through will be creating those particular Copilot application in a modern way. Okay, but we want a classic interface. So what we can do, click on create new Copilot. Now rather than going through the prompt or maybe clicking on skip to configure, I'll click on three dots over here and I'll say edit advanced settings. If I click on edit advanced setting, then here I will get a link, a hyperlink, basically to create a classic bot. Now in this interface, here it is allowing you to change the solution as well as the schema name. Now you can go ahead and change the solution and schema name whatever you want. So if I want to select say May 2024 solution and I want to put the schema name as say Girish Classic 101. Okay. Now don't make any change over here because this is all for the new Copilot. Okay. So whatever change you make will not be reflected. What you need to do, you need to go to create a classic bot over here, and now from here, this is the classic bot interface. Now from here you can type in whatever name you want and whatever icon you want. So let me create a Copilot called as Girish Classic July Copilot. Okay, now again this is a classic bot, so it is technically not called as Copilot, so let me call it as Girish Classic July bot. Okay, and then I can select the icon, I can select the language, and I can click on create. Okay, now there is no way in this screen whereby you can select the solution or the schema name. So for that, what you need to do is like you need to click on three dots over here and click on edit advanced settings. So whenever you create a classic bot, remember the solution and the schema name you need to manually select first. Okay, now it is quite hidden. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to select say maybe May 2024 sol, and then I'll just name it Girish Classic July bot, the name it has picked from the name. Okay, so I'm okay with it. I'll click on save and I'll click on create. Okay, so this is how you basically provision a classic bot. Now classic bot creation takes a long compared to the Copilot. So if you really want to build an application, and if you want to build an application which is feature compatible, I would highly recommend you to build Copilot rather than building a classic bot. Now, if your requirement demands to build a classic bot, again, then this is the way to build a classic bot. But given a choice, uh, always select Copilot compared to classic bot, because Copilot has got a lot of features, lot of integration, and it simplifies the entire Copilot creation process. So until and unless it is needed, don't go for selection of classic bot. So again, I'll just show you just one more time how to build a classic bot. So first you need to click on create, click on new Copilot, and once you get this prompt interface, click on three dots and click on advanced setting, edit advanced setting. Now don't select solution and schema name over here, because this still belongs to the Copilot. Okay, still you haven't reached to the classic bot screen. Click on create a classic bot. Now you have reached a classic bot screen, which will ask you for name, icon, and the language. And if you want to select the schema name and the solution under which this Copilot or the bot should belong to, click on edit advanced settings, select whatever solution and whatever name you want, and then you can build the classic bot. So that's it, folks. This is how you basically create a classic bot if you want to use the old technology of building a bot rather than using the new Copilot. Thanks for watching.